Hey everyone, it's Jen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have a request video. Sofia, who is her, yes, here on YouTube. Hi Sofia. She asked me if I would show how to put together the KSCraft Diamond Rosettes, the Dimensional Diamond Rosettes. And I will link these down below. They're not a new product, but they're still available on the AliExpress store. And they come in two different sizes. So there's a small one and a big one. I usually use the smaller one because even though it's smaller, it's still a nice big rosette when you put it together. If you use the full width of the rosette, this is a fold line, so you don't count that. It'll be about 2 1/4 inches. And that's, just like half of the rosette. So it would be 4 1/2 inches across. So that's a big rosette. The big one would be, it's almost 3 inches. So that would make it almost 6-inch rosette. So if you need big rosettes for banners and stuff, the big one is the way to go. But if you're using them for just like paper crafting embellishments, I recommend the smaller one, and you can get either size. So I usually don't use the full width of this rosette. I usually cut at the most 2 1/2 inch strips. So what you're going to do to make this is cut 2 1/2 strips of paper, and I used a 12 by 12 piece, but it won't be 12 by 12. It has to be, let's see, at least an 8-inch piece of paper, okay, to make the full length of the rosette. And you're going to cut 2 of these out in your die cutting machine with thin paper. Thin paper is the easiest to use, I find, because there are so many folds you have to make in this rosette that with thicker paper it just makes it more difficult. You can do it, but I prefer to use the smaller or the thinner papers. And this is just like regular scrapbooking paper you can buy individually at Joann's or Hobby Lobby. I have this is an old Martha Stewart paper. I just have a wide variety of papers like this. So I cut 2 2 1/2 inch strips, and let me show you one that I made already. This is the same kind of paper, and the Dimensional Diamond Rosette comes together like this. Isn't that cute? I just love the dimension of it. And the fact that this part folds over is really nice because it adds stability to the end of your rosette. So it's a great design. I have some hot glue strings on there. This one comes out to be, where's my ruler? This is about 3 7/8 inches across. So still a really nice size rosette, even using the smaller die and then not even using the full width of it. So I am going to go and cut these 2 pieces out. I'm going to show you how I position them on my die cutting platform. I take the paper and I put the die with the top of it, which is this part that has the line going all the way across it. I put that right on my paper, just on the edge, like this and like this. So it cuts all of those parts out. Okay, it cuts this edge and it cuts this edge. It'll cut this edge too. It'll just, this will be scrap paper, and then it won't go all the way to the edge of the die because I don't need it to be that wide. So I'm going to go run these through my die cutting machine, both of these, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I've got my iced coffee. I forgot to mention that before. I found this new creamer. It's Chobani. I don't drink dairy. It's non-dairy creamer. It's coconut mocha. It's so good. And some Stoke cold brew coffee. It's delicious. So hope you're enjoying a beverage too while we're crafting. Okay, so these went through my die cutting machine, and as you can see, the lines are all embossed on there. And that's what the back looks like. I've got some flecks of just paper on there, but it cuts out really well. My die cutting machine is a Sizzix Big Shot Plus, which is just the same as a Sizzix Big Shot. It's just a wider format. And I just put it on my standard sandwich plates and ran it through my die cutting machine and then back just to make sure all the lines were embossed nicely. All right, so I'm going to get my bone folder out. Don't really need it, but I'm going to use it a little bit. So first what you do is fold it on that long score line. So just go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to put my bone folder along that as well. Okay, and that just reinforces the edge, so it's good to go. All right, so we're going to start at this top edge, and you're going to fold the little corner down. See on that line right there? So fold that, just finger crease it. Okay, and then you're going to take this first line here and then bring it up like that. Okay. Now here I think, Sophia, is probably where you're having the problem of how to do this little triangle here. Okay, so if you see there's a triangle that goes like that, and then there's the embossed line, the crease line in the middle of it. So you're gonna fold it on that line first, just like that, okay? Then open it up, and what you're gonna do is put your thumb here in the middle of that triangle, right on that embossed line, and just kind of push it down while you're squeezing with your left hand, push it down with your right hand. And then you'll see those embossed lines of the triangle start to fold. See that? So I'm just gonna keep like squeezing it and pushing it until my triangle kind of forms by itself. And you can see where it's folded on that line and this line and that line. And then once they're folded together, you can kind of push them like that and then just press them with your fingers like that. Okay? So that's how that goes. Let's do it again. Okay, so you fold it like that. And then here we go again with the triangle. So fold it along that line first, the long line, and then you have that triangle there with this embossed line, and then you have the one that we already folded. So you're going to squeeze with your left hand, press down with your right hand until you see that triangle forming. And if it doesn't go right on the line, just, kind of adjust it so it's going right on the line. Okay, so see it's forming, and then once it's formed, just squeeze it together. You have that. Okay, so let's do another one so you get the hang of it. Okay, gonna fold it. Got your triangle. Squeeze, press along those fold lines. And then just press them together. Once you get going, you can feel where you're supposed to fold it. Okay, let's do it again. Fold, fold, squeeze, and press. And see how it's forming? Now, if you're doing this with thicker paper, it doesn't fold as easily, but you could still do it. You just have to maybe press a little harder. Maybe your bone folder would be more helpful for something like that. But for me, I just prefer using the thinner paper, and that's why I like to have different weights of paper in my stash for different projects. Ta-da! See, we're almost at the end. Go all the way to the end, why not, right? And then the end. That one, we're actually going to cut one of those off. But that's how you do one, okay? So I'm going to do the other one, and I'll be right back and show you how to put it together. Okay, so now you have 2 of these pieces all done. So you're going to take each piece, and on the right side of it, you're going to cut off this whole flap, okay? And just do it like right next to the line, right before the line, just to get it all cut off. I'm going to do that for both of them. Just makes it easier to glue them together. All right, and then you're going to add some glue. Let's see, it's going to go just like that. So I'm going to put some wet glue on this side here. And I'm using my Tonic Studios Deluxe Adhesive. but use whatever you like. And then take that and just put it over the first flap on the second strip. And just make sure it dries. Doesn't take that long. I just like to press it together and then kind of refold it just to make sure it's, you know, nice seamless transition. Okay, just like that. And then we'll do that for the other side as well. And this is going to go just like that. So take my wet glue. Got that. Put my pin in there so it doesn't clog. And we'll fold that over. And while you're letting it dry, again, just refold it to make sure that it's a nice seamless transition. So you're going to have this like loop. All right, then let's get out our next step. We're going to hot glue there to hold it together. Hot glue is good for this because it dries quickly. You don't have to hold it for as long. I'm getting out my silicone mat, finger protector. You're going to need something, a little paper cutout, like I did this little heart for this one. I just have a little yellow circle for this rosette. I just had it handy. I usually cover them up with embellishment, so it doesn't really matter what I use. And then we'll get our glue gun. So I've got my Lynn Lily one here that I love. All right, so this is the outside of your rosettes, the outer edge. The inner edge is where you're going to be gluing. So you're going to hold it like this. If you've never done a rosette before, this is how you put them together, and just kind of press it down in the middle so it forms the rosette shape like this. Let me zoom in so you can see. Okay. And then just kind of, you know, futz with it a little bit to make sure that it's nice and even around. And that people have different ways of doing this. This is kind of how I do it. So just hold it with one hand, get your glue gun with the other, put it in the middle, and squeeze a big thing of glue in there. Couldn't really see there, but hopefully it worked. And then I'm just going to hold it together like that. And this you have to hold for, I don't know, we'll see, for a few seconds at least, just to make sure it dries, because it's a big glob of glue. And then while you're waiting for it to dry, you could just kind of look around and adjust. I think I need more glue on this. It's not feeling like it's, yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay. And hold that down. All right, I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to add a little bit more glue on this side because I don't think enough went in there the first time I put some glue down. I couldn't see, so just hold it down there. This is the underside of it. You can see where we fold it over. There's a nice reinforced edge to it. Okay, I'll turn it back over. And if you want to, you know, just kind of adjust your folds a little bit. Sometimes they get a little askew, so just rearrange those. And then I'm just going to put on my little circle here just to cover up the middle. And there we have it, our rosette. Isn't that beautiful? I just love this dimensional diamond edge. It's really, really nice, and I think it's just such a nice touch to your rosettes. So hopefully that was helpful, Sophia, and everybody else who had questions about this die or how to put together a rosette in general. If you have any comments or further questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Just leave them down below in the comments, and I will leave Sophia's YouTube channel in the description box. Thanks again, Sophia. I always love chatting with you. And yeah, that's it for now, you guys. I will be back soon in another crafty video. Until then, have a great day. Bye, guys.